You here for the PC settings? All right, I got you, dog. All right, go here, this little gearbox. So for general, we have auto overcome obstacles I have on, damage number stacked, squad info notifications on. I have this off. I have friend spectators off, streamer mode off, highlights record. A lot of these affect my graphics, so I turn them all off. Outline border off. Actually, that should be on. I don't know why that's off. Button hints, keep those on if you need them. This was turned on automatically from the last update. Turn that off. It definitely does cause device lag. Mini-map rotation, leave on. Enable controller. You could turn that off if you're not using controller. I leave it on because I use both. Okay, graphics. Full screen. Monitor 1. And then for the quality, when I'm streaming, I use balanced or HD. If I'm recording, I'll use ultra or extreme. They're not really beta. They work pretty well. Okay, so I looked just to be sure. So for some reason, I don't know why I never noticed this before because I don't use medium or low. But low and medium are both 60 FPS for PC. They're both 60, so there's no difference between low and medium. High is 144, so there's no 120 option. There's no 30 FPS option. It just goes from 60, 60, 144, 240 is the very high. Those are the settings. For the visual style, I use bright. The default is fresh. I think bright looks a little better. The contrast is a little higher. I put my brightness at 50%. Anything above that looks a little unnatural to me. Anti-aliasing, you can keep that off. This also depends on your machine, but for the most part, you want to keep these as low as possible so you have the best performance, especially on, well, this is just PC settings now. So for anti-aliasing, you can keep that off. That's just purely visual. Anisotropic filtering, that kind of puts more contrast and a little bit of detail on the background. Sun shadow detail. So now there's a shadow for the character, like a shadow effect on the character. Okay, so you see how she has a shadow now? This is on shadow high settings. So it turns when you move the camera. It's really nice. And then all this stuff has shadows. This has shadows, the trees, the signs. And then you turn that off. And now there's still a bit of a shadow like the original one, but it's not as detailed as it was before. There's no shadow on the characters. So you lose a little bit of visual detail. And we have anisotropic filtering. I'm just going to turn that all the way up, see what that looks like. See, it kind of has a little bit of a brighter color effect. There's really not much difference. I think the trees are slightly more detailed. And then rendering scale, you want to leave at 100. If you turn it down, it looks really weird. Actually, it doesn't make too much of a difference. I would leave rendering scale at 100% though. There's also new emotes that we got sent today. We got this new emote today, and we got this one. Isn't that cute? Guys, I'm literally in love with Michelle. Okay, anyways, now that I'm done simping, get back to the settings. So anisotropic filtering, I leave at 1 times. Clearly, it doesn't affect much, but it does affect your gameplay. I leave VSync off, and I tried putting the FOV. There's a FOV slider now. I tried putting it up at 90. It gives like a weird kind of a fisheye effect. I don't like it. It gives you a little bit more, you know, on your sides, but to me, it's not worth it. It affects my gameplay. It kind of gives me a headache. So I leave it at 85. This is 800 DPI. Logitech G305. Doesn't really matter. This is at 800 DPI. If you want to look at if you have 1600 DPI, I have 2 settings videos. Look at the more recent one for 1600 DPI. I have that on my channel. Check it out. For this, I'm just going to let you have them. 70, 70, 70, 70, 35, 30, 25, 15. For the firing, 70, 40, 35, 30, 25, 15. With the vehicle, turn down some of this because if you like to shoot out of vehicles, the sensitivity is really high default. So just kind of go through, and this is what I use. That's the advanced sensitivity. Then we have invert mouse obviously off, hold switch, press to use, expand, custom bind keys. Like I've said before, my horizontal flying, I have set to scroll wheel click. I know I'm weird. Outside of that, the things that I've changed for default, for crouching, I use C, but I don't ever really use C. I use my 4 button, which is the little button on the left side of my mouse. I use that for crouching. And for holster weapon, that is originally X. I changed that to the number 3. And the default number 3 is use recommended consumables. Take that off. Just change your holster weapon to 3, and then you have your 4, which is your heal. You have your 5, which is your small shield, and you have your 6, which is your big shield. That's what I use. The only thing that did change, by the way, is the emote button. It used to be hold down the B button. That has changed to the number 7. I don't know why. You could change it back if you really want to. Okay, so you see the mini-map rotation? So I'm not going to lie. I actually don't like that, and I'm going to turn that off. You put it on low. Basically, you put it on ultra. If you have headphones, the range for sound seems... don't quote me on this, but I swear to you, you can hear sounds from super far away if you put it on ultra. Like, I'm talking like the POI next door. You'll hear shots, you'll hear footsteps. And if you put it on low, I feel like that doesn't really happen. I would try and put it at ultra. You'll notice the difference. Also, I have my master kind of low down. I have my sound effects set up way high. My background music super low, and the voice is about halfway. You always want your sound effects way higher than your background music, because those footsteps will come through so much clearer if you have your music turned down. So for custom settings, this is a new tab as well. For the teammates perspective, for me, black is the highest visibility. I don't know why, just for me, it shows up the most. I keep it on black. And then this is whatever. I mean, this doesn't really matter that much. I keep it at purple because purple's kind of my brand color. Also, Farlight 84, how dare you? How dare you take away my thing? You know exactly what you did. You saw my short that I posted like 2 weeks ago, and I'm mad at you. Look, this is what happens now when you try and do the slide dancing. You hit the equal sign, look what happens. She just starts running. They fixed it. They fixed the cool thing I did. Look, I hit equals. She just starts running. Are you serious? How rude of you. That's like my favorite thing to do. All right, anyways, I hope you enjoyed the settings. If you did, smash like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.